What can one measly novice do? Versus an onslaught of masters, experts, intermediates, and yes, beginners. What can one measly novice do against that? The masters and experts are probably thinking that this crazy novice has no chances of winning. We're going to easily take him down. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't even have one game played. What are his chances? But no, guys, we're here to prove them wrong. We're here to show them who's the real boss. We're here to progress from novice to grandmaster. That's right, we're going to be doing progressive cards to grandmaster. First it was novice to grandmaster. Now we interrupt this normal broadcasting to present to you the purple player. No wonder he has a beginner rank. Do you really have to ask why? Wow. This guy should go back to preschool to learn how to count. I believe the right word kids nowadays use is, "You got roasted, son!" I can already picture this guy's response. He's probably like, "Mommy, Mommy, what am I gonna do? This guy's roasting my life! Mommy!" Before his mom can respond, his dad's probably going like, "Son, you needed a schooling a long time ago. Go back to work." But for real, guys, what in the world was he thinking? Doing that 5 against 7. What in the world was he thinking? The chances of that working in balanced blitz is really low. He must have been thinking it was true random. That's the only logical thing that makes sense, but I highly doubt it. Anyways, guys, where was I? Right, I was talking about progressive and how you gotta progress into the game. You gotta be on top of the world. Can't let rank define you. What more can I say, guys? The haters are gonna hate. There's always gonna be critics, people being skeptical of your game and looking for your flaws and your mistakes. So you gotta stay on top of it. You can't let their words affect you in any way. Just gotta stay focused on your mission and stick to your game plan, and eventually you will achieve your greatest goals. Now, I'm not saying it'll be easy. Obviously, it's not going to take a few days, a few hours of work, a few hours of grinding the ladder. It's going to take a while. It might take tens of games, hundreds of games. But you got to stick through it and learn from your games, learn from your mistakes, and always to become the best that you can be. And know when it's your fault that you lost the game, and know when it was based on luck and probability of one player getting the opportunity to win the game, or you getting an unfortunate blitz roll. If you stick to this mentality, not only when you're playing the game, but in real life, it will help you deal with different situations when they arise and have a better outlook on life overall. Alright, that's enough philosophical discussion for one day. Let's get back into the game, shall we? This is Risk we're talking about. Risk global domination. We gotta stick to our plan and prevail against all odds. Alright, this is a helpful tip of advice when you're attacking territories. So you split off a 3 so that you don't have to put your entire army on that territory, so then you can split your army and then go back. It's a pretty efficient way of attacking territories. This bot does something that's really good for me. It takes down 10 troops of green. Just like that. Boom, kaboom. You're done, green. Why is this such a good thing? The thing is, he doesn't have a set at 4. And he's super weak. Once I can turn my set in, I will go for him. The sets are at 6 currently, which means that 3 cards are worth 6, which means 5 are worth 10. So, right now it's not worth it. But now it's worth it. Why? Because the orange player is going to turn a set in. Putting the value of sets to 8 which means that each card is worth around 3, and now 5 cards are worth around 15. So it's worth it. I can take him out, get his cards, and then I can turn in a set after doing it. This is what progressive cards is all about. I make sure that I get the 2 extra troops from that card on the Congo territory. And then I fortify to Siberia because it has access in all different directions. Number 1, it can go to Europe. Number 2, it can go to Australia. Number 3, it can go through Asia towards North America if necessary. Plus, it's away from the other players, the other human players, orange and yellow, so they're not going to be afraid of my army. The yellow player makes a good decision here by going for the blue player, trading a set and then going for him for that bot. Bye bye, blue. It was fun to play with you. Not. Anyways, so he gets his set. I have my set because of that wild card. That wild card is epic. It keeps me alive. Wild cards are a blessing because they guarantee you a set on 3. And whenever you have a set, like whenever you get a wild card, you need to make sure that you don't use it if possible. So you save it for when it's really important to have a set, because sometimes in some situations it's more important to have a set than in others because the value of the sets becomes high enough to where it's worth to take you out for your cards. And in those situations you need to make sure that you have a set. And what is the best way to have a set and guarantee that you have a set is if you saved your wild card for that situation. Yellow trades in a set and then goes for purple for 2 cards. It's worth it at this stage, even though he doesn't get a set from taking him out. It's still worth it for 2 cards. A mistake that he is making right now is his army is completely blocked in Europe from the other players, so it can't be used to attack and go for either of us right now. However, Orange opens his army up now because he wanted to invade Europe and break his bonus. By the way, this is speeded up by 2 times, and you're seeing how slow the Orange player is. The reason for that is he has not turned off his camera animations. If you don't have your camera animations off, you're going to go super slow, and you're not going to be able to capture as many territories as you would if you had your animations off. You can be at 2 times or even more faster just by pressing a single button in your settings. I do have a set at 3 right now. So the yellow player has 80 troops right now currently and 4 cards. And I decide that I should take him out. Even though 4 cards are only worth 52 troops, the reason that I go for it, even though it's a little bit risky, is because if you can look and see at Orange's army, it's blocked in Australia, which means that he won't be able to take that many territories in the following turn. This gives me the opportunity to get a huge advantage after that by getting a lot of troops. Plus, I am guaranteed to have a set after taking in the next turn, because I will have 5 cards after taking out the yellow player in the next turn. Right now I only have 4, but in the next turn I'll have 5. And that should be more than enough to take out the orange player, to deal with this orange player, since the orange player only has a couple of cards right now. He can't trade in a set yet. And once again, I have a wild card. That means that I'm guaranteed to have a set on 3. after turning in this set. So Orange does the correct thing by fortifying his army out, but he only fortifies half of it. He should have fortified his entire army, because those troops in defending Australia are completely useless, because they're only defending two troops, and they're just basically wasting that space. It would be a lot more efficient if he had it in one army instead of two armies. Which is why I took the advantage by blitzing his armies. Sure enough, he didn't have a set of cards. Even if he had a set, he wouldn't have been able to take me out. Even if he had his animations off, which he didn't. So, I can finish the orange player out very easily. I probably didn't even need that set, but now that guarantees me the win for sure. Go out there, be brave, take down your opponents, but most of all, have a good time.